If you vote in California, you need to hear this. New legislation could change how you cast your ballot. Governor Gavin Newsom has signed Senate Bill 1174 into law, which bans local voter ID requirements. This means cities like Huntington Beach can no longer mandate ID at the polls, aiming for uniformity in election laws statewide. Supporters say this law prevents voter suppression, while opponents argue it opens the door to fraud. California is now one of 14 states where voter ID is not needed. Critics, including high-profile figures like Elon Musk, point out the inconsistency with other ID requirements, such as for vaccines. Despite the law, Huntington Beach plans to continue enforcing its voter ID policy, citing constitutional rights. Governor Gavin Newsom's signing of SB 1174 is a blatant attempt to weaken election security in California by eliminating local control over voter ID requirements. This law strips cities of their right to enforce basic identification measures at the polls, measures that are crucial to ensuring that only legal, eligible voters cast ballots. By prohibiting localities like Huntington Beach from requiring IDs, Newsom is opening the door for widespread voter fraud and making it nearly impossible to verify voter eligibility. California is already one of the few states that does not require any form of voter identification. And this new bill goes even further by blocking local governments from stepping in to safeguard their elections. Without proper identification checks, anyone could cast a vote without proving their identity, undermining the integrity of our democratic process. SB 1174 disproportionately harms election security, and Newsom's move shows a disregard for the concerns of local officials who are closer to their communities and understand their unique needs. This is not about expanding voting rights. It's about dismantling the very protections that prevent illegal voting. Newsom is effectively encouraging a system ripe for abuse, where election results can be easily manipulated, putting the voice of legitimate voters at risk. This reckless legislation will erode public trust in the electoral system and opens the floodgates to potential fraud. By stripping localities of the power to protect their elections, Newsom is putting partisan politics ahead of secure and fair voting. Candidate for the 49th Assembly District, Long David Liu, has filed a legal challenge against Governor Gavin Newsom and Attorney General Robert Bonta over the governor's most recent approval of SB 1174. So, what do you think? Does this new law protect voter rights or weaken election security? Let us know in the comments.